It's a military charity. It's a military stream. Military stream team. Yeah, there's it's a 2.5 2 minute countdown right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the very first Carbon Corner. We are back at it again every week on Friday from 7 to about 8 o'clock. We sit down with new people, talk about different different topics. And tonight, I'd like to technically, it's really my pleasure and Rebel's pleasure to introduce Jordan with DrinkFreshenUp. He is the CEO and an absolute amazing guy. It is certainly our pleasure to have him on tonight. And Rebel Dog, do you have anything to say?
I'm just kind of excited because I've already talked to Jordan once. We talked in the beginning. It's been about a year now, hasn't it?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So I'm sure, and I know that there is a lot of things that have changed over the years. So I'm excited to see how everything's progressed and has grown since then. Because I've been watching you guys on the internet and everything else, and on Twitter, and you guys have done a lot of growing over the last year. So I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, yeah, it's been crazy. We've definitely made some strides and definitely traveled a little bit across the plains. So yeah.
But yeah, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome everybody in. We are on YouTube and on Twitch. Door Donkey, how you doing, brother? How you doing? Um, if you guys have any questions or whatsoever, you guys are free to, like everything else, you're free to talk within the chat amongst each other and stuff like that. But if you have any questions directed at Jordan or us or anything else about what's going on tonight, leave it for the end of the conversation, and we'll have a little short Q&A before we end the stream. That way it doesn't interrupt the guest and our concentration, because I know at least me, I'm old, so concentration is really important. But oh, hold on. Like I said, live streaming, you always gotta love it. There's always something that's not right. I can't find my.
True.
Well, in the meantime, brother, we've personally talked for hours about Drink Freshen Up, but for those that aren't fluently involved with Freshen Up, obviously get involved, ladies and gentlemen. Get involved. They're going to the moon. But Jordan, please kind of introduce yourself, talk about yourself, and just talk and tell people who you are and what you do.
Yeah, no, of course. So my name's Jordan. I obviously own and operate and kind of handle a lot of the stuff here behind the scenes with FreshenUp Energy and JDB Labs. We do a lot of different things in current time. We're basically our backbone and our bare bones, basically from the beginnings, everything to do with dietary supplement manufacturing, nutraceutical manufacturing. We're kind of getting into that food and beverage manufacturing category now that we're doing cans, which is really crazy. Having to get a lot of the steps in place to have the FDA a little bit more involved when it comes to our facility and get that more GMP certified and FDA compliant, which has been super crazy. But yeah, that's kind of our roots. That's where we come from. I was a little bit about me. I created content for quite some time, and push came to shove. I kind of wanted to pursue getting into pharmacy school. I went to school for that for a little bit, and it started becoming a little bit oversaturated here in the state of Utah, especially in the Salt Lake Valley. There were 2 schools that were pumping out pharmacists left and right every year, and it was incredibly hard for some of my friends getting out of school. As pharmacists trying to find a job, a lot of them couldn't, and it was really disheartening. And one of my best friends, who's finally, it's been about 3 or 4 years he's been out of school, he finally picked up a full-time thing. So if you can imagine that, he finished 4th in his class. And it was one of those. It was a little bit hard to wrap my head around being able to do that. But one of the biggest things that I started to notice were a lot of pharmacists around me weren't very happy. A lot of them, it was weird. A lot of them, probably loved what they did, and they loved helping people as well as I did, working in a pharmacy setting. You learn a lot doing that when it comes to, being very personable with people and helping them on a health level, and you learn a lot of these different pharmacists. So it's been really nice to kind of, have my feet in healthcare. I just wanted to shift gears into something that I could utilize a lot of the chemistry that I'd used in school alongside helping people. I have a background in that content creating side of things, and so it's kind of a perfect storm. And if the shoe fits, you wear it. And push came to shove, we went from marketing to people in sports and fitness almost exclusively to gaming exclusively, and now we're getting back into the fitness side. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit, and like I said, for the ones that haven't really heard of Drink Freshen Up, I mean, what inspired you to start Freshen Up? I mean, what was the main thing that literally sit there and say, okay, this has to be done?
So it was actually kind of crazy. I kind of knew, working in pharmacy, that there was a really big problem with sugary drinks in general, and it wasn't really just soda. I mean, you have all these other companies, being upfront about the facts. And but Gatorade has 16 grams of sugar per bottle per 16
Wow.
ounces. It's just a lot, and we basically kind of figured, there's got to be a solution. There's something out there that's and we did a lot of research, and there's very little. Actually, there was just not a lot. And I knew, with my background in chemistry, a big part of a lot of the different components and a lot of the different chemicals and just everything we used to use, a lot of it was kind of in powder form to start, and that was kind of my forte, something I was good at. So started getting into that and utilizing a lot of that. And we actually started with people in sports and fitness. We were actually going to set up booths and stuff at local softball events, baseball events, football, soccer, you name it. We were going to have FreshenUp hydration, just this new hydration blend you throw in a water bottle. It would have been awesome. And then COVID hit, so it made things incredibly hard. Couldn't go to events. They weren't allowing parents, especially not vendors. A couple food trucks that were awesome in Utah had shut down from this. I mean, I'm sure everyone can just let their mind explore. Things got pretty crappy. And so what we decided to do is switch gears. I actually knew one of my friends that was in an organization in gaming, and I was like, you know what, it'd be really fun if we kind of got into that. And then I'd like to say the rest is history, but that's essentially it. We just word of mouth, it kept going. And then we utilized vitamin D, especially during COVID. That was huge. I'd credit that alone from us getting out of COVID alive. And then we also started offering everything caffeinated, and there's a pretty big market for the caffeinated stuff. And we've just been going ever since, and just really connecting with people on a very personable level. It's incredibly important to me that I use the roots from what I used in pharmacy to talk to people and engage with everyone. So it's kind of cool. That's kind of the start. That's kind of where all that came from in a way.
Yeah, because I think we talked about that before about with the vitamin D. We found out that vitamin D was the one thing that was keeping everybody sick. So the fact that your drink was more focused on the vitamin D of that aspect, I think, that was a good way to push it out to the general public.
Yeah, we ended up with quite a lot of sales in the beginning, especially locally. A lot of friends and family were super interested in giving it a shot, and it kind of helped definitely keep us afloat through all that. And it was, super fortunate in that case for sure.
So I know you guys have like some super secret ingredients and stuff like that you can't share with the world. But I mean, what sets your energy drink aside from everybody else? I mean, what is the one thing that you can tell us that would set us aside?
Yeah, no, there's a lot. My wife and I and a lot of the team here, we talk about it all the time. I had a friend that he used to order a ton of other companies' energy drinks, right? A lot of their powders. We are holding on to those. We're actually going to be, as a part of our remodel situation that we've got going on, once that's finished, we're going to be running a lot of those other powders through rigorous tests to kind of find out what's going on and why a lot of these other companies have chalky problems. All those chalky textures. We're going to run it through distillation apparatus, procedural type stuff, and find out what the case is. And but that's kind of one of the biggest things with us is that the chalky textures are gone. With everything that you'll have through FreshenUp, there's literally nothing. There's none of that. A big part of why you do get those chalky textures and the chalkiness that just sits at the bottom is because all these other companies literally do hire third-party manufacturers, and they do large batch only. That's why there's minimum order quantities, which is awful.
Oh, okay.
It's very not passionate like for other companies to do so like that. They're not very geared towards the communities and their health. They can build their formulas how they want to and spend extra money per unit, but being able to do it, especially at the level that we do it, at the way we do it, is incredibly unique, and it kind of eliminates those problems. So it's kind of fun. A lot of our flavoring and coloring and everything in that category is all natural, and it's awesome. We work with a super exclusive flavor house, with of which we choose not to disclose. But They're amazing people. I'm super good friends with their rep. I'm going to be hopefully flying out soon in the next month or two to walk with them, do a tour, and sit down and build some stuff. Not, wanted to share too much with that, but
Yeah.
that's going to be a fun deal. Upfront about it, we do use sucralose as our sweetener. It's one of the, if anything, the only sweetener that we've done, extensive amount of research with, that I've spoke with a handful of different pharmacists and a couple doctors. It's one of the very few sweeteners that, don't over the top spike blood sugar levels darn near at all when consumed. So that's kind of something that we decided to go with, and it's been awesome. We've been able to kind of, build an incredibly tasty drink out of it altogether. So that's awesome. A lot of our vitamins, I think we went over that in the past. Another thing that sets us apart is we don't overmax on all of our vitamins, which a lot of companies for some reason like to overmax on their vitamins. I don't.
Yeah.
Coming from a healthcare
1000%.
Yeah, coming from a healthcare standpoint, if this gets out to any other owner of another company, I really don't know why y'all do that. It's super interesting. Anything over 100% is considered what is called a detox. So if you look at the back of liquid IV, a lot of those have over 1,000 whatever percent of their vitamins, and you will urinate anything over 100% of what your body won't use. So why are you spending extra money? Why are you spending the money to buy that when your body won't need it? So that's kind of the ideology of
that's interesting.
Why we only do 100% right. Because that the money you're putting into our product, you're going to get 100% of it, and not 10,000% that you'll just end up paying out. You're just buying you're buying a diuretic type of situation there. It's interesting.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's a side of things that's really interesting. That we consider. Obviously, it's people's health for us is incredibly important. We pride ourselves on being the cleanest. Another thing we offer that a lot of people really don't for some reason is electrolytes, and I don't know why. We have a handful of different ones. But our magnesium citrate's kind of our big main one, and we love it to death. Magnesium actually has some properties on like on a chemical level in a way that kind of help with acid reflux and GERD, which is interesting. And it's cool because one of the ingredients in our product is citric acid, and citric acid does have a little bit of a lower pH, which would make it a lot more acidic than, obviously it's citric acid, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be tart, but we basically use that magnesium because as you won't see the effects, when you drink it, it actually does cancel out some of that when you in your stomach. So it's kind of cool. We really thought about.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jordan, that's huge for me. That's huge for me because I do have that issue with previously drinking like a lot of alcohol. It builds up. And what I'll tell you is another story. I went to get my DOT physical for driving the big trucks, and I was like, I told him, I said, well, I just drank an energy, powder for me. It's super healthy though. And they were like, if my blood sugar's high, that's why. And it was like, dude, you're normal. I was like, no, ain't no way, because I just checked it out in the parking lot, I thought that was super cool. The way you're explaining it right now, that makes perfect sense to me. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so
I'm so worried about that.
So would you say that then is this a safe drink then for people that are diabetic and things like that? Because my wife is diabetic, and I know a lot of reasons she can't drink things like that because they're too sugary.
We don't have any sugar in our formula whatsoever. No, there's nothing in there that's gonna, cause any issues. However, I would consult with her doctor still. Just kind of ask her or him about what if something like FreshenUp with the caffeine and everything in general is going to be healthy, just on that kind of a standpoint. But yeah, for the most part, with her being diabetic and us offering sucralose, and there's incredibly low levels in general, she should be fine. But again, just full disclosure, I would consult with the doctor about that. But
definitely.
That's kind of the ideology 100%, is that people can feel a lot more comfortable consuming this because it's you know, the sucralose is incredibly healthy in terms of other sweeteners in the category. I mean, you have the maltodextrin you hear about everywhere. That's become kind of a huge selling point for a lot of people, that they don't include that. That's fine. You know, that we've kind of made it past that point. We have a lot more that we're proud about that we boast about, rather than, oh, we don't have maltodextrin, because that's kind of common ground these days. But yeah, I would kind of full circling with that. I would just consult
And so
ask the
and
doctor.
and also what we were talking about before too is you use. I mean, you see a lot of them that say the real caffeine in it, but
Yep.
there's a lot of extra behind that real caffeine story in a lot of those. But you guys use real caffeine, right?
Yep. We use caffeine from natural coffee bean. We could have taken different routes. We could have found, you know, super cheap caffeine on the market that's probably not as pure. You know, we could have gone different directions with that. However, again, with you know, that health side in me coming out and really just wanting to help people and do something that's going to be right for the product and for everyone consuming it. And, you know, and it's also just in general incredibly safe on a production standpoint when we go through all the procedural type stuff, that it's, you know, inspected and it's checked off and it's all, you know, from natural coffee bean. And yeah, it's just the right move.
So what are some of the? I mean, like I said, what is? I mean, I understand real caffeine and what they post on some of their stuff is real caffeine, but I mean, what is really the difference? I mean, what does it do to your body?
Well, natural coffee bean is obviously just from, it's like caffeine from natural coffee bean does come from natural coffee bean, but you can actually get your hands on what's called synthetic. It's pure synthetic caffeine, and the term synthetic is usually it's a root from the word synthesis, which is all done in a lab. It's not natural.
Yeah.
So your body consumes natural products better than it would synthetic. That's why processed food's bad for you in general. So that's kind of yeah. There's a lot behind that too. I could talk about that forever, but
Well, like I said, I just always, you know, I always just thought caffeine was caffeine. You know, it all came from the same spot until, you know, we talked the last time and then now. But
yeah,
yeah. And a lot of people do. People think caffeine is just caffeine, and you know, they don't think about the, you know, being man-made or natural. So
no, yeah, a lot of, you know, and you're gonna get some people that really still kind of, you know, don't care and all. We're hoping to shape this different vision, this ideology around the energy drinks market in general. We want to kind of help convince, because you have like people in health, you basically have people in healthcare. You have doctors, you have nurses, you have physical therapists, you have people that are like sports medicine teachers and instructors, and we kind of want to help change that preconceived notion that energy drinks are quote unquote bad for you because they have all this crap in the caffeine. You know, it's through the roof or whatever. And yeah, we've given our cans to, you know, a handful of our pharmacy friends and had them do, you know, actual reviews and things like that. And a lot of them come back incredibly positive. Obviously, a lot of them, you know, talk about the sucralose and just make sure you don't like over consume in a single day type of thing, obviously. You know, especially with the caffeine levels, but that's about it. A lot of them give us a lot of green flags for a lot of the natural stuff we do, and it's cool. So I kind of want to help change that for people in those professions as well. I kind of want FreshenUp to be the topic of which the safe route gets brought up in school for them down the line.
So what would be a safe amount of FreshenUp to drink on a daily basis?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the cans, I would say, you know, 2 cans is probably, you know, safe with somebody that has a normal 2,000 calorie diet in a day, right? So that's kind of like the normal person that you'd see. Like, there's like a disclaimer that's kind of on the bottom of every single, you know, nutrition facts or supplement facts that tells you, you know, somebody with a 2,000 caloric diet. And so I would say 2 cans is good because the 160, you know, twice is only 320, but you do have the limit on that's 400 in a day on the milligrams. So you could safely drink 3 shakers of FreshenUp if you did the powder because it's only 100. we do have some people that do, 4 shakers, or they'll double scoop twice in a day. But that's kind of the fun with it too, is you can go through different flavors in a day. You can mix flavors. You can have fun twice a day. So it's cool. It's very lucrative in that aspect, but 400 is kind of the limit for people on that 2000 caloric diet. And then it's crazy to think about, some energy drinks have 300 milligrams in a single can. It just blows me away. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're talking about the mixing up. I've seen a lot of people mix the flavors, and I mean, actually, I get like recommendations from people, like in your Discord and some of the other Discords. It's like, oh yeah, mix this one with this one. This tastes amazing, and
yeah.
So it is mix and match.
Yeah, it has been lately. It's cool. A lot of people are coming up with stuff. Anyway,
Jordan, quick story and a little backstory. About, I want to say back in 2020, I personally had a heart attack. Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
At the age of 21, I had a heart attack, overworking, drinking absolutely enormous amounts of energy drinks. And I had like 2 hours of sleep a night. I worked 90 hours to 100 hours a week. So I was just chugging energy drinks. It eventually became like I was drinking a can of soda.
Dang.
My biggest concern was the health side of things. But I tell you what, I've not had a single issue. I now have a mitral valve prolapse, which, the little backstory, I think a lot of people have it. They just don't know they have it. So when it comes to caffeine, I have to stay like in a certain range. And I tell you what, though, it's perfect. It's perfect. I drink one a day, and I can just sip it throughout the day. And it's just a flavor boost. You're like, dude, I'm ready to go. And I told you this before. I wake up in the morning tired as all get out because I work all day, come home, you're streaming, and then you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, man, I don't want to do this. But I take a sip of it, and I'm ready to go for the day. And then just throughout the day.
Wow.
Anyway, I got to go get my beer.
No, yeah, that's
it finally came.
No, that's really crazy to hear. So
yeah,
again, and I'll kind of reiterate when he comes back, just in general, even with caffeine levels, through our procedural standard, we are incredibly precise with every little thing we do. Caffeine levels and our niacin levels, vitamin B, that's also just incredibly closely watched over in general. We're really right on the money with everything we do. But yeah, so even somebody in his case that's had heart issues, that have been pre-existing in his life, it's something that, with FreshenUp offering such little caffeine in general, it's kind of nice for people like him that can re-enjoy that experience again, but not feel like they're going to fly through the roof and have those issues again. So the 100 milligrams is perfect for that. But, like I was telling Rebel while you were gone. So, with someone like yourself again, no, you're good. Even just consulting with a doctor is incredibly wise all the way through, because again, they let you know of your condition, kind of where you're at, or just what you've got going on, and they can assess whether or not you're healthy to consume energy drinks and whatnot. I mean, we have all those disclaimers too, but I was just telling Rebel that we are incredibly close with our procedural standard of watching over our numbers and how much of every ingredient, including the caffeine, especially the niacin as well, that we are with our formula. So
yeah, I mean, when you drink an energy drink after you have, I haven't drank an energy drink, right, since having it, and they tell you like 1 or 2 Cokes, and I'm like, I don't even enjoy Coca-Cola that much anymore, but
yeah,
this is just perfect. I mean, it replaces the coffee, because coffee extremely bad for your teeth, y'all. Just a heads up. And I'm sure you have more insight on that end, but
yeah.
I don't like the taste of coffee, so something like this, it replaces everything entirely. Whether I'm sitting down at my desk, putting in pick tickets, work orders and stuff. I'm just sitting there like, oh, I'm staring at this darn screen all day,
Nah.
But it's like a pick me up for people that are, working daily, stressed, working. And I tell you what, like I said, we just got the flavor in of Tangy Explosion.
Yep.
Of all the ones I've tried, absolute best one. I mean,
That's
it's
awesome.
got the sweetness, it's got the tanginess, because you're like, oh man, how about Tangy Explosion? I was like, I don't know. Like, let's leave it up to you. And it just works perfect. It truly is a tangy explosion, and it's just, I love it, man. I truly do, and like, that's my honest review of it. It's a 10 out of 10. And Rebel, I might be able to send you one here on the 15th, okay? So you can have it and try it.
I was gonna say it's just like, you at least could have sent me one to try out before all this, but no, I understand. I just like giving. I like giving Snow heck. So kind of going into some of the other things. I mean, kind of walk us through the process on how you come up with new flavors. I mean, how is, like, with the new one, like Tangy Explosion? How did you come up with that idea?
Well, that's pretty well. So the name, honestly, that's the name for us. It's either incredibly hard or super super easy. So that's one of those where it can just land in our laps, or it's one that doesn't, and we have to go with a machete and fight through some trees to get it. So to be honest, the name I don't know. But to like actually going into the flavor itself, we, with it being a creator slash organization flavor, we kind of gave that we passed the ball over to Snow here, and him and the team kind of came up with that on their own. And if they say it, we do it, and that was kind of the mentality. And that's kind of the biggest thing too with a lot of our creators that want flavors. There's very little we'll ever say no to, and if it's something that sounds hard, that just means we need to work harder to make it work. And yeah, Tangy Explosion, it was it's definitely a derivative of something we'd done with Orange Cream Dream in the past, but it was kind of eliminating any hints of that vanilla and kind of just getting it a very very tangy type. Yep. But we had a good conversation with, again, the rep with the flavor house we go through, and they use obviously all natural tangerines for this, and that made it perfect because we didn't have to have oranges involved.
Ooh.
It was kind of straight right from tangerines, and it was cool.
Oh, okay.
And you taste it, man. Like, straight up. If you guys don't know what we're talking about Tangy Explosion here. I know, I think it's backwards on the screen, but you get the point. Designed by the very own Jordan, I believe, right?
Yep.
The flavor was actually chosen by Iris. Iris suggested this straight off the bat, and she's like, what about tangerine? I'm like, tangerine in an energy drink? And then I was like, thinking about it. Okay, so we got Red Bull also has kind of a tangerine, but that tastes like buns, right? It tastes like acid.
Right.
Like, let's get rid of that. I was like, I don't really want to taste that, And I'll tell you what, it was blown out of the park, truly. And like I said, Rebel, you will get a tub, okay? You will get a tub. I promise. Just relax over there, man. No, I'm playing.
No,
but truly, it's a great flavor. And so I was personally thinking about like different ways to bump up like people's recognition of the Tangy Explosion, right? Because people might be ordering the fruit punch, they're ordering the Valhalla flavor, and War Cherry as well, like all those main flavors. I was like, how do we bump this up? And I was like, dude, we could do a huge giveaway to like people that have sold like 200 tubs of this, or bought them, and we could just personally add, hey, if you do this, Carbon is going to throw in the fridge for free with the respective like screenshots, what blah 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 blah. You posted the other day.
Yep.
If you hit 500, we currently are over 30 now, I believe, right?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on it. Definitely pushing it pretty hard and doing our best on that. 100%. Yeah, you guys are nailing it. It's one of those where I definitely want it to see, go to the moon, and I want to give away a fridge. I definitely, we've been doing a lot of stuff with a lot of our creators and stuff with the fridge lately. So it'd be really cool to kind of see that, definitely hit those numbers and yeah. I'm down. I want to give away a fridge and. Yeah.
Dude, the fridge is gonna look fire next to me.
Nah.
No, but it surely is a great flavor, man, and I give all respects to you guys and the team over there. Now, you were talking about COVID and during that time and how it kind of impacted you guys. What have you kind of adopted to, with that changing of the landscape and whatnot? Like what kind of like procedures or, any of that sort of thing?
Well, it was actually kind of a fun little blessing in disguise because it's a very common reoccurrence that you saw with literally any company that you came in contact with at all. Didn't matter who they were. They re-implemented and spent a ton of money on, pandemic situations and awareness in general. And, that happening to us incredibly early on. It was one of those things where I actually feel pretty randomly like fortunate in my position, because what we ended up doing was scribbling in a lot of the we did a lot of extra procedural type stuff in case of that ever happening again, and so it's at least somewhere in the book there. So we basically just we took it as it came and just kind of built stuff around that, and that's essentially it. I mean, right through the beginning of COVID, it was kind of interesting because a lot of places in general, you couldn't go into like stores or anything. So when we were trying to talk with stores about getting into, obviously having some shelf placement, we couldn't, because a lot of the time they weren't accepting like new local products because no one was 100% sure of the procedural stuff and all the processes that they go through. So we've been able to really fine tune that and get it on an incredibly clean level. And it's so we basically, if anything, it taught us the cleanliness and adhering to OSHA standard super early on. Your general manufacturing practices and everything were all like on point from the start. So
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that you have? I mean, in starting the company and everything else, I mean, I'm not trying to go like back in time or anything, but what are what are some of the challenges other than COVID that you had to face when you started the company?
One of the challenges for sure, because every company kind of wants to be at a certain point. They kind of want to already have things like shakers when they launch, and they kind of want like some crazy advertisement merch. They want to spend money on Facebook ads. They want to do all this crazy stuff. One of the biggest challenges was, staying headstrong and like trying to communicate with as many people early on as possible, because us being an early company, we didn't have those funds that a lot of people would have. We didn't have that capital to just throw into all those ads and really build the brand kind of on a marketing standpoint. So one of the biggest hurdles for us was really hitting the marketing hard from the inside out. We've yet to actually spend any money on Google ads or Facebook ads or TikTok ads or Twitter. We've not done anything.
Wow.
Something that I'm not incredibly prideful about, because there's going to come a time where I'm going to want to do that. We're doing our best to kind of build a very unique and loyal community through word of mouth, and people that are going to love it first and build an awesome backbone, before because we, very truthfully, and I tell people this all the time, we're trying to find, our top 40 or top 50, like the music, like the pop, whatever. We're trying to find our top 40 organizations or creators and people that, we're going to keep incredibly close to us, our partners and stuff. And then, a lot of our, other affiliates and other partners that kind of come into the picture after we start doing ads and things like that. So we've not really done anything there. We're definitely wanting to kind of solidify some stuff early on with people and really build these flavors, the Stangy Explosion, for instance, and the Raven's Blood thing with Valhalla. So it's, getting those in cans, getting the cans all set up, which has been its own hurdle. And
well, not only that, I mean, I would kind of think too that because you do all this basically in house. I mean, it's you guys.
Yep.
So I mean. So once you start, because what's going to happen once you start hitting the Google ads and the TikTok ads and everything else, it's going to blow up. And are you ready for that if that happens?
Yeah, that's actually a super good question. I was just asked that not super long ago, and one of the biggest levels of importance, especially if you're manufacturing in general, has to be how adapting to an outgrowing infrastructural standpoint you have, and being able to push past and again, like I said, adapt to what can happen if, like, tomorrow we had 400 orders because someone like XQC somehow gave us a shout out or something. So there's always, like, you have to be ready for little instances like that. And yeah, we're 100% ready for anything super crazy like that. The team and I talk about it all the time. Sometimes we, do crazy promos like BOGOs, and we have the cans coming up, so that's been super crazy. Our team's been headstrong on getting those, manufactured and ready to go. Last thing we're waiting on that shows up Mondays, our labels, and that's going to be a fun deal. So we're going to be, applying those, running them through the heat tunnel, and getting all that set up.
So the cans haven't officially launched yet, have they?
No, they haven't. We've not talked about dates or anything on purpose because, and like, this is just kind of common knowledge if you're pretty close to us, and I've talked with people, and I like to stay transparent, truthfully, with why things have been delayed. So our red shakers, for one, I'll just keep this incredibly short. They got delayed by a week, and it really pissed me off because the people we go through, they're super awesome, yet just this one time they dropped the ball isn't a big deal. We definitely had to let the community know, and obviously that sucks if something's delayed, but not a big deal. Everybody's getting their red shakers now, and we're shipping them out. There's no issues. But the can situation, our old heat shrink sleeve manufacturer, essentially, because it's, for us to do that would be crazy. It'd be wildly expensive, but having them work on stuff. They were local here in the state of Utah. They were located down in Orem. They were a great company for the most part, and usually they were, they're cool until they're not. And they're artist we had kind of a back and forth with. I actually got in a phone call with the head of all their art department and asked kind of why stuff wasn't getting done. They were super picky and kind of pushing us out the door. I don't know why. We were really nice. I'm obviously incredibly professional with all my phone calls. Everything. Yeah, we kind of narrowed it down to, they probably just didn't want to work with local companies and do what would be considered small batch, even though we went with a newer company we did a large batch with, so it kind of made no sense. But we picked up a brand new company. They're located outside of Utah. They are super big. They do all of the heat shrink labels for pretty much everyone in big energy that's got a heat shrink label, and they offer great rates because of that. In general, they have very fast turnaround times, and it's going to be a cool situation. So that's definitely a hurdle. There's a lot. Again, all the behind the scenes stuff is super crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Like I said, especially you grow a little bit bigger every day, so it's just like I can see how it gets crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. There's a lot. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Other than that, the hurdles, there's times where with whatever sales and new flavors and stuff going, we'll partially miscalculate, not really by a lot. Sometimes we'll be running low on things like citric acid. Oh my gosh, can't talk. But we'll run low on something like that, and then we just have to, go in and place our orders and get everything in. So those are just minor things, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, culture and everything else that's in there, can you speak kind of like on your company's cultures and like your values, even just with your small team? Because I know that you have a smaller team doing all this work. So could you speak upon like the values and, how you guys are shaping up for success?
Yeah, 100%. So we value all of the people first. I mean, that's probably something you hear that's incredibly cliche, but I truthfully want FreshenUp to be a company that I wished I had behind my back when I created content, because there was nothing and sort of still is nothing like it. And that's the ideology going in every single day. We do a lot for our creators. I actually just had a pretty lengthy post on my own Twitter account not super long ago. We've impacted the market already, which is super crazy considering we've not pushed ads. We've not done anything like that. A lot of companies are being forced to deduct prices off their own products, which is actually smashing their margins in the wrong way. It's super wild. There's been a ton of stuff. But yeah, all of our partners and affiliates, we value all of them. We value all of our customers. I literally, I'll get some notifications that we get an order for, even just the sample tubes, which would be our, cheapest product on the site. And I smile. I'm incredibly grateful for every little thing. It's just one of those things. It's our whole team is going in with the right motives, and that's kind of the idea as well. Keeping our heads on straight with every decision we make. All the calculated risks have to make sense. It's just one of those. It's definitely hard. I would say on a stress level, it's not super crazy. This is something I love doing. I look forward to waking up every day doing it. Our team obviously couldn't do anything that we do without them. Here we've got 3 full-time people and about 10 that are part-time / idea pitching / they come in every now and then and help with some things. I couldn't do it without any single one of them. We have an accountant that's been super awesome by our side. We have some close friends, actually. My wife and I, we have 2 close friends, and they're engaged now. They're going to be getting married soon. They actually own their own remodel company that they're actually doing the remodel for us, which is super awesome. But we're able to sort of resonate with them a little bit with the business stuff. So, it's pretty interesting. I would say we value a whole lot, and it kind of derives from different places. But at the very end of the day, it comes from valuing, people's health is a big one too, but definitely just the people in general, because I feel like once you understand that you're not necessarily 100% in like the product business, but you're in the people business, that's when it's different. That's when things start to really shine. That's where you push through. That's where you make a difference. And but as soon as you can start helping people accomplish their goals, you'll start slowly seeing your own goals being accomplished in the meantime. And that's kind of the ideology, especially doing, something like Tangy Explosion, for carbon and getting that all set up and helping you guys in a way make money, and helping people like Valhalla and that whole organization make money so they can afford things for their organization and stuff. In return, we over time see, a tiny bit of cash from that too. So it's just one of those.
Yeah. And you keep, I mean, the way you have a business structure set up, it's more of a family instead of like a corporation type, so I think that helps out a lot.
It does. And that's the thing too. You hear that being pushed around everywhere too, like number one things you hear failing businesses say, oh, we're family, or here's a pizza party or something like that. But very truthfully though, I mean, that family thing for me is so weirdly different, because I see that in the Discord every day in that general chat. You get people in there, good morning, everyone have a good night. What's everyone doing? I'm not gonna lie, I've made a couple of burner Discord accounts, and I've been in some of those other companies' Discords, and it's just flooded with people that complain and people asking whose discount's the highest discount, and it's it's just one of those. So we definitely have an incredibly loyal and dedicated group of people, and bunch of like-minded creators, pretty similar with myself that just wanted to grow back in the day, and you know, we're here to kind of help bridge that gap and make it possible stuff. So I subscribe to that idea.
And I think too, with some of the groups that you have on and the organizations you have on, they also have that type of a structure, a family structure. You know, Valhalla is a big family structure. Carbon's a big family structure. So I think that looking at those to get you started out and getting the word out, I think is amazing that can actually happen that way, because you don't see it, like you said, when people hear the family values, they kind of like, yeah, okay, you know, but it's like
100%. Yeah.
So how do you stay? I mean, how do you stay up to date with all the changes that have been going on with, you know, like with some of the other companies going under, some of them, you know, having issues that we've seen here not too long ago with one of the bigger companies. How do you stay up to date with all that to make sure that FreshenUp doesn't fall into those same traps?
It's also a pretty funny, super cliche thing. You know, you keep your friends close, your enemies closer. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I have one burner account that I use on Twitter and Instagram, and you know, we definitely visit weekly all of our competitions' Twitter accounts, just keep up with stuff they're releasing, flavors by chance. At the end of the day, you have to use it more as reference rather than, oh my gosh, competition type thing. It's, you know, what's working in the market, what's going on. You know, it's just basic stuff like that. Our team's always looking at random stuff. You know, we have one person that's kind of been on the inside with a few companies that's kind of given us some intel before stuff gets announced, and that's been kind of nice. We no longer have that anymore, which sucks, but that's okay. Yeah, it's just one of those. So like, we just keep up and do what we can, honestly, and other companies kind of just are in the same boat. You know, they hear about new announcements that come out from stuff that we're doing, and you know, G Fuel's got some stuff that's coming out, whatever. And so it's just, you know, you got to stay on top of stuff and just learn what other companies are doing, and just, you know, not necessarily 100% adapt, but kind of build on top of what they're doing, and let them be an example, so you can, you know, kind of grow on it and stuff. So yeah.
So what do you got planned for the future? Is there something you can talk about what you got in store for the future that you?
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that's super requested. We're definitely getting into the fitness category a little bit more.
Oh, nice.
Without going into details, we're, you know, planning on putting out a very dedicated type product for people in fitness that want to start getting into working out, and that's going to be a big project on its own. We've solidified a lot of the trademark stuff for that coming up, and that's going to be really fun. You know, another thing too. So we just actually recently got FreshenUp's partially new can design, in a way, pretty custom situation, put in sort of a VR Escape from Tarkov-esque looter type shooter situation.
Oh, cool.
Extraction game on Steam.
Oh, wow.
Ghosts of Tabor. So super crazy deal. I've been actually super fortunate to watch a couple streamers play the alpha version of that game and find FreshenUp cans. We've posted about it in the past, and they're in using it and having a good time. And so, you know, getting in with more of a intangible space for us is super important. We did the GTA thing for a minute, and that was awesome. Still pretty active with that. You know, Woods and I are super close. Woods has kind of he has a lot of involvement with the Bossberry flavor. You know, okay. New flavors. Obviously, we're pushing some limits here, building a lot of new things. A lot of other companies aren't really doing that. They kind of, in a sense, you know, without tuning our own horn, kind of wish they could do. You know, we have one flavor very specifically that I've been working on for over a year. So a lot of people always talk about, you know, especially my wife and some friends and family, they're like, well, you know, you honestly do so much for all these people. And it's like, yeah, that's the point. But they always bring up, you know, like, when am I going to crack down and knock out kind of a flavor that's closer to me, you know, like not my own flavor, but it's kind of something that kind of showcases FreshenUp in a way, right?
Yeah.
Something that really pushes us above what other people are even imagining, what they're trying to think of doing something different. And yeah, I'm currently working on something personally. I'll stay after hours and work on something.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
excited to share a lot more with that coming up. We don't know when that'll be. But yeah, we have a lot more creator flavors coming up. We actually have 3 or 4, possibly a 5th in the lineup. So
Nice.
we're debating using this year as a year for having the creator flavors put out monthly or bi-weekly, and then using that as kind of a vehicle for us to bring back a lot of our 25 serving flavors. Like Freedom Berry Blast is coming back again, which is a big deal. A lot of people love that. Yeah, it's cool. There's just a lot of stuff in the future. Obviously new can flavors. Yeah, there's a lot. I could go over a lot of stuff we're doing, but
So, okay, when the cans come out and stuff like that, are they going to be in brick and mortar stores, or are you just going to have them exclusively online?
we might offer them. Well, they'll be 100% online first. So the main reason that is because we're kind of in the talks with a few different people. We've got Walgreens and some other companies we're still in email chains with. We're trying to solidify some things. We're trying to get FreshenUp put in local Costco's.
Oh, okay.
We didn't want to do that with the powders. We wanted to kind of hit that a little bit harder with the cans. We felt like cans would make a lot more sense to kind of do that with. So that's going to be a fun deal. Yeah, so we plan to in the future. It's kind of a big deal. We're definitely doing our best on that level, but yeah, we just want to kind of offer it from the site first and let people, get their hands on it before we start really pushing on Facebook and Google ads and stuff like that.
So, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we want everyone to kind of get that exclusive first launch, before the rest of the world in a way kind of gets exposed to it.
Yeah, and then again, like I told you, like we talked in the past, I know I haven't been able to because I haven't been able to get my people up there at work involved because we have a lot of guys that drink energy drinks at work.
Oh yeah,
and I know I'm one of them, but so when that comes about, when you start getting to the point to where you have different flavors and stuff like that in your cans, let me know, and I will get at least a case of each one that you have available, and I'll try to get them down here and get them sold through there and see if that'll. I mean, I'm in the Midwest, so.
Oh yeah, that's not going to be too bad then.
So I mean, I'm in Oklahoma or in the Oklahoma area, so within in a bigger city, so that'll get you something going, anyways. Because I know, like I said, right now we just have some of the name brands and a few off brands that we have in there that I've never even heard of.
Yeah, no, and that's what's hard too is. The distributing thing is really hard because a lot of major retailers and a lot of bigger chains, they want us to go through and kind of piggyback on top of, the same shipments that you see Coke and Pepsi sometimes using together to get to stores. And so it's just one of those things that you have to come to terms with and understand that you're all in a way sort of weirdly in this together in a sense, because you have to understand that your product could just be shipped with your competitors, and that's just the way it is.
Yep.
It's interesting. Distribution's kind of a whole different ball game. It's weird, but it's fun.
Yep. Yeah, it's exciting. Like I said, I mean, it sounds like a lot of stuff has changed, and just I know a year seems like a long time, but it's really not a long time anymore. It seems like as you get older.
I know.
Because like I said, it just seems like a few months ago because I had to actually go back and look, and it's like, oh, wow, it has been almost a year. But, no, I mean, it's really exciting to see all the changes and all of the new things that are coming about and the constant growing. I mean, doesn't sound like there's been a lull in anything. But
yeah, no. It's been super crazy. We've definitely hopped into a pretty fast little car, I guess, and it's just been going for a hot minute, for sure. We've kind of turned into being multi-productional, which is super interesting. We, with a lot of the merch and the stuff that we do, we don't really have done through another company. It's all kind of handled through, my wife and another person. They do the merchandise for us, and they all just do such an amazing job. And we do our own screen printing, which is crazy. Something in the past we only used to do like iron-on for shirts. So we've definitely been able to sort of invest and learn that process, which is super crazy. A lot of the new glasses that we're selling, we self-etch those, which is wild. We don't really do those through any other company either. Yeah, we just started learning all these little things and finding ways to utilize those, but also kind of make it make sense with the model too. What's going to be something that people are going to enjoy. And obviously offering the glasses, people drink freshen up, and it's like you can hold a beverage in there. And yeah, we've sold a whole lot more than those. I thought we'd go through 8 to 12 of them, and I think we're up in the 30s at this point. It's really weird. I'm actually kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of shocked. Actually, I had no clue that would even pick up like that at all. It was just going to be like kind of an oddity product that was like, yeah, we offer this too, pick it up. It's kind of fun. And no, it's still going. Yeah, we debated offering them for $7, $8, $9, and just thought, you know what, throw it on sale and people can grab it literally. Yeah, we're not really going on vacation anytime soon with the sales from those, but something we just wanted to give back a little bit. It's actually pretty similar to our mini fridges. We don't, yeah, our margins on those aren't, through the roof. They're not very good, very truthfully, but at the same time, it's one of those things that we offer because not only do we have the whole cans thing coming out that's going to be huge, but it's kind of the trade-off there is that we'll start seeing people post on social media that the fridges and stuff get seen in front of a lot of people. So the investment's kind of behind the ideology that it's the marketing we're kind of paying for in a way. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things I could talk about a lot. So. um, we have a really big project we're working on with one current one that we have with us, and that's really crazy. Not like a can or anything that's kind of already been disclosed with an organization with us already, but we've got something else in the works that's pretty big. Um, as far as organizations in general, yeah, we've been in the talks with a handful of different ones. Um, I know there's one that Kelsey, so Miss G, she's helping us kind of connect with. That's going to be a big deal. She's been awesome with stuff like that. Um, yeah, for the most part, we're always looking for more organizations. We're always looking for new creators. People that want to hop on and not only support a company with a lot of people that are just incredibly talented and passionate about what they do, but we also resonate that same passion towards our creators. So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, so the answer is yes, but kind of a long story, long answer for that. Yep. True.
How about now? I don't
Oh,
know.
you're good.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I don't. Well, I swapped computers around a few weeks ago, and ever since then, I've been a lot of issues with my audio and stuff.
oh my
Um.
goodness.
But
Yeah, if you guys have any other like burning questions, anything you would want to know or that'd be interesting,
yeah, if you guys have any,
I always ask.
yeah, if you guys have any questions in chat for those that are here, go ahead and drop them now, and then we'll get them answered as best as we possibly can.
Yeah, there's no trick questions. You're not going to stump me on something. I'm going to give you somewhat of the most honest answer you'll ever hear about it. So.
But also for those that are watching this later on the YouTube and on the Twitch stream, on the bots and stuff like that, make sure you go make sure you go check out the website. It's freshenuphydration.com. Everything's on there. They've actually, I mean, there's not a single thing you're gonna not miss. I mean, if you have any questions whatsoever, you can find Jordan on Twitter. You can also find Miss Guru on Twitter.
We have TJ Hurtman on Twitter too.
Yeah,
so
Hurtman.
Either one.
Yeah.
Yep. Any one of the three, you can always message us on Discord, Twitter, wherever. Just any random burning question. I'm obviously not gonna put my phone down and not talk to people. I'm gonna be on talking. So, DoorDonkey has a question. When are we booking the TwitchCon booth? And what day do I need to report to work it? Oh, they won't respond to us.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, very, very Twitch-like in a way. I'm
Well,
just kidding.
yeah. No, it is.
It truly is, though.
Well, I mean,
put in an inquiry, and they haven't responded. So
yeah, I don't, because they're not in San Diego this year, so I mean everything has changed now because they're in Vegas this year.
yeah, Vegas is only like 4 hours from us, so it'd be not a big deal. The whole thing with the TwitchCon is it would have to be sort of a really, really good deal in a way. It would be awesome to be at TwitchCon and kind of like help get the name out in that aspect, whatever. I lived my whole life kind of off of like a frugality type mindset. I don't really spend a lot of money. I don't really go out, don't do anything. I'm not necessarily super boring, but I also see this as like, do I want to spend all this money for a TwitchCon booth for a weekend of who knows what kind of sales or promotion in a way, or do I want to spend that money and do 8 more flavors and 4 new shakers and 8 more cans? Like, I don't know. So I'm, it really depends on what they come back with, but you just gotta learn. We gotta learn to say no and learn what yes is. Yeah.
And it might not be a no. Like I said, I know it's a new venue for them. They've never been in Vegas. They've always been in San Diego. So this could be something that they're trying to find actual space for everybody, because I know, I'm sure Vegas's convention center is probably pretty huge, but I don't know. It's kind of sketchy and kind of super secretive there when they did launch it. So it's just like everybody's like, okay, is this real? Are they really going to be in Vegas? Or
for real? And they didn't even, to my knowledge, today they still don't even have a lot of big branding and stuff put around it. They haven't pushed it really crazy like the last years and the year before and all the other years.
No,
they just said they had the one main post and it was just on their thing and they left it and they're like, all right.
Because usually by now you're hearing a lot of information about it, and the only thing I got was a notification in my Twitch channel that coming to Vegas, coming to Paris.
I guess true. They've done some small stuff like that too.
But that's the only thing I've seen of, other than the creators reposting stuff.
Yeah, true. I sort of to full circle that answer in a way though, we are doing a lot of local stuff, which is cool, obviously. So we're that's definitely not off the table. My favorite thing to do with FreshenUp is sports events are awesome. We actually did really well one sports event. We did a softball tournament, a slow pitch softball tournament that my sister and her boyfriend had a lot of involvement with, a lot of the management, a lot of people that planned it. So we got a booth, but what made that incredibly interesting and different was that this softball tournament was one of those overnight tournaments. And a lot of the people showing up were coming to us basically snagging all the energy drinks, because I spoke with the owner of the whole thing and asked him for energy drink exclusivity in general, so there couldn't be any other company on premises during this event. Yeah, it was kind of fun. So yeah, we did pretty good. So we're the local thing for us is really big. I love car shows. I am a car guy.
I was gonna ask you.
I'm
asking you if you were getting into that stuff.
Yeah, I'm a car guy. I love cars, and definitely something I love being around. And not only do I get to have FreshenUp with me, but I get to see all the really cool cars. We're pretty close with a really big car giveaway company here in Utah, 8080. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but they do the dream car giveaway.
All over the place.
Yep. So we're pretty close with all of them, and sometimes we'll do events where we have our booth set up, and people coming over and checking out FreshenUp and picking up some cans and some tubs and like some merch the last time we did something. And the car the car content creator on YouTube, Stradman, pulled up in like 4 or 5 of his cars and just kind of rolled them up next to us and helped the promotion a whole lot in a random way, because a lot of people were kind of getting over to the very front to see all his stuff. And yeah, it's good. Nice. It's good brand awareness and stuff. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I was like, hey, thanks, man.
You gotta get into the NASCAR, man.
Hey, I'd love to. It'd be fun.
NASCAR races all the time.
We are
down here in Virginia, right next to the track.
Oh my Lord, that's actually really cool. We are kind of a goal for us is to see, because we're local, so that's gonna be the biggest thing. With us having cans and everything, we want to try to squeeze in and see if we can be the Utah Jazz energy drink of choice. That's gonna be fun.
That'd be
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Don't know if that's something they're interested in, but I hope on the healthy side of things they're like, hey, this is not bad.
Well, not only NASCAR, but I know iRacing. I mean, iRacing is just about as popular as NASCAR now.
Yeah, no kidding. We have a couple people. We have a gentleman. He's an awesome person. Streams. He's a MLCN. He was with Depth from way back in the day when we were partnered with them and stuff like that when we had them with us. But he still does the iRacing thing, and his car still has FreshenUp on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really fun. He's been winning and doing pretty good, and it's kind of cool to still see him, rep that. We definitely fully support that, so it's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I agree.
Yeah, because like I said, I mean, yeah, anything helps, and like I said, once to the point to where we start getting the cans and stuff like that. I mean, I'll get some and I'll just put them in the cooler and see if they sell, which I'm sure they will, because everybody's always looking for something new and something refreshing. So.
Or they forget to stop by the old convenience store coming in there. Like, oh shoot, I got FreshenUp there in the cooler at work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No.
So, but if you guys don't have any more questions, and Snow, if you don't have anything else, I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yeah, if you guys have any burning questions, anything random you'd come up with, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are not in the Discord, make sure you go over and follow the Discord. I don't have that link because I'm bad about that. Look at this.
Oh, we have more updates on our remodel situation. We're getting our entire facility space in a way remodeled. We've designated kind of a special quarter of it is all from our last facility space that we are still manufacturing everything, and it's all awesome. But yeah, we don't have the full everything yet. So as soon as that opens up, we'll be able to share a lot more, and we're going to be doing some walkthroughs and inviting people over to check it out and kind of do a tour. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's unique. Again, no one else really is doing that because, again, everyone orders from third-party manufacturers, and then they have pallets shipped to their front driveway, and then they white label. They put all their own stuff on it.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah. I dropped the Discord both in the YouTube channel chat and in the Twitch chat. If you guys are not in the Discord, which I'm sure everybody is, and I know like on YouTube, I know the chat replays, so I don't know if this is clickable, but I know it'll give you a little bit extra exposure on the Discord side. Go in there, get with the people in Discord and stuff like that, and find out, just start and go through the streams, go through Carbon, go through Valhalla, anything like that, and start asking the any kind of questions or how to get a hold of people, and just buy the heck out of it. I know I have a tub from when Get Wet had theirs when I was with them, and I still drink on it. So
yeah, we're not quite sure if we really want to possibly pursue any more flavors or anything. I know we're gonna kind of keep them on board with us and everything. We'll kind of wait to kind of see what they say.
Yeah,
we've kind of put the ball in their court in a way and kind of wanted to see what they wanted to do, and we're still kind of so.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said,
be fun.
like I said, make sure if you have any questions whatsoever, and like I said, you can find Miss Guru. She's on Twitch. I think she's all settled in her new house.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet, almost. But I know she's been playing on a makeup setup right now. But
it's kind of scuffed. She's definitely talked about wanting to move into her new. Get it. Yeah.
So, but anyways, you can find her on Discord. You can find her on Twitter. Like I said, if you need to get a hold of them and you can't find anybody, you can get a hold of me. I can get a hold of Jordan. Snow can get a hold of Jordan. Anything else like that, we can give you as much information as possible.
Yep.
But like I said, if you don't have anything else, I think we'll go ahead and let Jordan get on with his Friday night.
Yep, and I just want to go ahead and say a few last words here about Jordan. First things first, man. I know I've said this over and over again. Thank you so much for just with our communication. One, you jumped on board and were like, "Let me talk to your team." You came in. We set up a private channel for everybody, and you came in and answered everybody's concerns or questions and took the time out of your day to do that. First and foremost, that puts a huge light on FreshenUp and your company. You are an absolute pleasure to work with, brother, and I am truly, truly happy that we've finally released, Tangy Explosion, and I personally think it's going to be a really long road working with FreshenUp, and hopefully everybody enjoys the new flavor, because I sure the hell do.
I honestly, it's the least I can do. I mean, being able to connect with people, again, just my roots in general, being very people oriented and staying as personable as possible. That's kind of the main thing that I do every day. Everyone in our Discord as well, I've said this to everyone as well. Literally just about everyone in there I've had somewhat of a one-on-one with, whether it was through a private chat or something, or I've been in like a call situation like this. I've kind of been able to connect with them and find out a little bit more about them. No, it means a lot to me, and yeah, it's the honest truth. I mean, I designate time on my day to be able to do that. Yeah, you guys are honestly amazing. It's going to be a really, really cool opportunity down the road. I definitely see some bright things with Carbon especially. So
yeah,
can't wait, man. Can't wait.
All I can say is I'm glad there's a company out there that really cares about everything and actually tastes good. I mean, that's for one thing, because like I said, I have had FreshenUp, and the one that I have had, it was amazing. So
yeah,
so I can't.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm just like Snow. I'm not like a big powdery energy drink type of person, but because I have been with a couple of other companies that I still have, I think, a whole case of their tubs somewhere around here that I haven't even opened.
And we still talk shit about them.
But
yeah, we a lot of people here, we talk crap, but we, we're just I think what it is at the end of the day for us, that I'm noticing, is it's just we're incredibly passionate, and
yeah,
that's the derivative of all of it. We don't talk crap to be rude and like, oh, that's dumb or whatever. We're passionate, and we just know what other people have, and we know what we have. So,
well, and like I said, it's real. The company's real. You're real. And everything you do is 100% genuine. So I think that's what makes you top dog in my book. So
cool. No, that's cool. Thank you. That's cool.
Yeah, because that's the way I look at it. I look at characteristics, and like I said, with the way you run the company, the way everybody that I have come in contact with at FreshenUp, just the creators and everything else in general. Yeah, it's nothing like the other companies.
Good people. That's what FreshenUp is mixed with. Good, genuine, down to earth people.
So
I love to hear it.
Great future. Building of a great future.
Yeah, I hope it's more building great community and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm about. But anyway,
Definitely. Yeah, like I said.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. You got one last thing to say, Rebel?
Nope, I'm done.
I'm gonna close down the show.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you
All right.
back next Friday night. Stay tuned for Twitter and everything else. Like I said, make sure you go over to FreshenUp or DrinkFreshenUp.com or FreshenUpHydration.com and go get you a tub of tangy hydration or tangy explosion.
it's all tongue twisters.
Yeah, it is, especially when you're reading 3 different things up here.
Yeah.
But go to FreshenUpHydration.com. 20% off. Get you a tub, and with the code Carbon. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Code Carbon.
Yes, you got that right.
I'm all new. I just started today, but anyways, we're gonna let Jordan go finish up his Friday night, and we'll see you guys next Friday night. Peace out, guys.
Thank you so much, Jordan.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, there ain't no end screen. I forgot I never got that finished.